Hey guys, James here from JVC Paints. This is my video for the I Am a Wargamer. I was nominated by Dan Booman. Thanks very much, Dan. Dan and his wonderful Bretonians, 5th edition Warhammer guys. Thanks very much, Dan. I appreciate it. I think I'm pretty much near the end, so I think two of my nominations have already been nominated, but we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep it short. This is take two. We had a cat fight in the neighborhood here. Right in the middle of it, it was an explosion, so I just, said, okay, take 5, do it again. So yeah, here we go. First question, how did I become a wargamer? Okay, when I was a kid, I was into, like a little kid, like 4 or 5 years old, I was into Britain's toy soldiers. I had the American Civil War guys, and I had the World War II ones, the Germans, the Americans, and the British, and they had like the little mortars and stuff that fired little bombs, and I think I started off with the American Civil War, and then I moved into the World War II ones. Never really got into the knights and stuff that they had too. A cousin of mine, he had Napoleonic ones, which you couldn't get anymore when I was like 5. So, but that was my sort of first thing with toy soldiers, and then I would say around 82, 83, or 84, 85, in mid 80s, I was in grade school, and G.I. Joe was huge, and when the 3rd edition or 3rd round or whatever of G.I. Joe came out, 85, man, and it came out with, it had Storm Shadow, Firefly, and like Scrap Iron stuff. I was full on Cobra, man. I like bought all this stuff. I was totally into it. So Star Wars had sort of gone out, but G.I. Joe was kind of rising up. I did a little bit of role playing, like D&D with my friends when I was also about 8 or 9. There was an older kid in the neighborhood. He was probably about 15 years old. He was my friend's cousin, who lived down the street. So they were more into science fiction and fantasy. They weren't into G.I. Joe or anything like that. But gaming was cool, and then I got exposed to like D&D figures and stuff like that. So I was probably about 9 or so when I started painting. My first model kit was a monogram M8, 1/32 scale, and then I had some Germans as well. So that's where I started in the hobby. And then as I got older, probably when I was about 14 or 15, I found the Ontario Model Soldier Society. We had moved from Western Canada out to Eastern Canada, and I'd known of them, and but this is before the internet. You couldn't get in contact with them at all, right? So we were out I was out someplace with my parents. We saw a poster, in like the lobby, wherever the heck we were. So I wrote down the thing, wrote down the dates. I went to their show. It was at the Novotel Hotel. This was probably about 1989, 88, 88 or 89. I'm thinking maybe 87, possibly. Anyway. And it was a real show. I mean, they had, it was guys selling all their old stash, and, people flogging their rule sets and big model kits and stuff like that. It was mostly figures, though, but they did have wargaming, and they had a 15mm Napoleonic thing going on in sort of the main hall. They had Chef Payne there, too, when I was a kid, when I was about 15, I guess, which was pretty cool. I had his book. His book was awesome. And then, yeah, and then after that, about a year later, I fell into Warhammer. I was working a job at the National Exhibition in Toronto for about 3 weeks, and I was flipping burgers. And in the pavilion next door was the arts and crafts thing, and there was a guy, and his wife, I guess, they were selling figures and wargaming stuff, and that was mostly Micro Armor. He was really heavily into Micro Armor, but there was the guy there who was sometimes there, and he was painting Games Workshop figures. And I was just like, wow, these are so cool, because I had stopped playing D&D. I was like, these figures are amazing, And so then what happened? Oh, sorry, bad neighbor cats over there, mine's over here. So and I met some of my friends, and I got into Warhammer 40K. And yeah, back in those days, we played Warhammer, before 4 or 5 of us were about 15. We didn't really know what we were doing, fucking half-baked, and fist fights and stuff like that. So. But I think I played my last game of 40K, I was probably 23. But in that time, I'd taken a break from gaming. But I was still painting. I'd still paint stuff. But actual gaming, it was very few times in there. And then I moved to Japan. And when I came to Japan, it was all about money, girls, beer. That was it. That was a 3-year rampage. Let loose upon the unsuspecting population of Japan. And then, yeah, when I was about 15 years ago, I got back into it. I found a store that was selling Games Workshop stuff in Tokyo, near where I was working, and I went in, and I was like, wow, Games Workshop, I hadn't seen this stuff in ages, I forgot about it, and I just kind of came out of a tough time. So I thought, well, maybe I'll pick up some stuff, and I gradually got back into it, and then and since then, so in the last 15 years, I've been painting pretty consistently. But I've switched, as you know, like Warhammer was 7th Ed was probably my big thing, and now I'm totally, World War II minded. So, where do I see my channel in 5 years? I really don't know. I imagine I'll probably be doing the same kind of stuff. I wish I could do more battle reports, to be perfectly honest with you, but I don't seem to get the time to go out and play. It's the three W's of plan hijacking: wives, work, and weather. They'll destroy a plan, and then I come up with it. Bang! It's like a magical ability. I come up with a plan within 25 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I could do that. 25 minutes, something's happened. It's typhoons. I got to drive her someplace, or we got to go someplace, or I got to work, or my buddy's got to work, or his wife's done something. Whatever. It's always the way it is. So, but yeah, I wish I could do that. World War II. I love World War II stuff, so I'm gonna keep painting World War II probably forever. I'm starting to get into the more smaller nations now. Getting into some really sort of fringy elements of it all, which is fine, and I enjoy it. Napoleonics, I like them, but painting them it's like going to the dentist for me sometimes. At first, the first couple figures, I'm like, yeah, and then I'm like, oh god, I gotta paint like another 100 of them. Fuck, come on. But yeah, I don't know. But I'll be painting, and I'll be putting stuff up. Will the channel grow? Probably. I don't know how much. Well, however much is growing now, I guess it's the same thing. You can probably hear all the bugs and stuff. It's super hot. This month for me is a write-off because it's like 37 degrees outside right now, and I'm sweltering. I'm melting. So, but yeah, I think the channel is it'll be around. I don't see myself nuking it or anything like that. I'm gonna keep it focused on painting though and gaming. I'm not gonna all of a sudden make it into my hiking channel or anything like that. So, any advice I'd give to somebody wanting to start out? Yeah, okay. Probably just echoing a lot of what everybody else has said. I'm just making sure this is on. Okay, yeah, it's 7 minutes. Okay. Yeah, get a camera, just do it. At first you're like, I don't know. Everybody's. I've gotten thumbs down. Mostly on the battle reports. There seems to be some guy who doesn't like battle reports, and I've noticed that, tabletop generals and stuff like that, they get this too. You put a battle report up, you get 10 thumbs up, and there's always some guy who thumbs it down. I don't know who that guy is, but, good on you. But you get the thumbs down sometimes. But, I've never had anybody, oh, you fucking suck, eat a bag of dicks, or anything like that. It's not like trolling happens, I think, in this little niche of a niche. If anything, is the opposite. You get these bots that are like, hey, let's collaborate, let's be buddies or whatever, and it's, you go to their page, it's all like, how to get 70,000 subs in 20 days or whatever. So, but I think the interaction between people who are painting is good. And other advice, I just use an iPad. A lot of people use their phones. I think it's fine. I'm into doing the thumbnails and putting kind of the video editing. I'm kind of into it a little bit. The first time, a couple of times I did videos, it was just like flat, like here it is, But yeah, it's just something to do. It's like a hobby in itself in a way. You're like, okay, I got to put a video up, this weekend. So that's good. One piece of advice I would give that I don't think anybody else has given is make sure that your name, because I've had to change my channel name. Make sure your channel name is something that people can actually say. So originally, my channel's name was Jamesu von Shapangu, and nobody could say it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna change it to JVC Paints. That's way easier. I think most people have names that that are pretty easy to say. It could, suggestion-wise, yeah, it can be just your name, but it could also be something that sort of reflects what you're into. Yeah, like a lot of people like paints. I put paints in mine. Whatever modeling or whatever miniatures. A lot of people do that, and I think that if you're going to start out a new channel and that's what you want to do, then I think that you should make your name easy. So, okay, I think I'm getting up to the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to just make my three recommendations here. I I know one guy hasn't been, so I'm gonna start with him. Phil R. Phil R. puts up a lot of great videos. He's always commenting on my videos. He's always on everybody else's videos. Always positive feedback with this guy. He's got some great videos. He makes these like little movies that are about 5. Well, I think the shortest one was maybe about 4 minutes, but about 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes long or whatever, with his figures. Where he's got them all set up, and he's got effects and sounds and cannonades going off, and he's got it in English and French. So. Which is pretty cool, and I really would like to see how he would do this, if he would, do it that way, have sound effects and, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, Phil R. The other one is Holy Diver. Holy Diver is kind of like oh man, I don't know, he's kind of like, if you were a little kid and he was a bad guy in wrestling, you'd hate him. You know what I mean? But he's so spot on with so much stuff he says. It's just hilarious. And I've had some interactions with him, sort of, I won a contest that he put on, which was, I still have the figure, I haven't painted it yet. Sorry, Diver. But he's got some crazy battle reports, and he's not afraid to say what he has to say. And I like that. Sometimes I'm thinking, well, whatever, buddy. But at the same time, it's very, very fun to watch. I always have a blast watching his channel, and I think he's been nominated by like 2 other people. So I would say him as well. And oh Jesus, a giant fucking bee, horsefly. Anyway, and my last one is going to be for, and I know that I want to call him Sarge, but I know it's Eric, Yankee Wargamer, and I think Hellcorrex did this as well. Smitty M14, the guy, he's around for ages, and then he kind of he fell off the map. So Smitty, if you're thinking about getting back into doing videos, you've got a couple people that want to know what's going on with you. So, anyways, guys, that's it. I gotta go, like seriously, go stand inside in the air conditioning right now because it is hot as out here. So, everyone have a great weekend. Take it easy. Keep those brushes moving, and hopefully I'll have an update on my Imperial Japanese parachute guys here within the next week or so. It's just too hot for painting here, so I've kind of, I don't know, just not given up, but it's like I can do like 20 minutes and then it's just like, dude, I gotta stop. It's just too hot. So yeah, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. All right, bye bye.